That little baby bump is absolutely adorable. But let us pause for a moment. How are you doing? And how is everyone else holding up? From the looks of it, Drake might be slipping back into his emotional zone again. This time, it is Rihanna's latest pregnancy that seems to have sent Drake into a downward emotional spiral. Just when it appeared he had grown past their history and finally turned the page, Rihanna surprised everyone by revealing she is expecting baby number 3 with A AP Rocky. And Drake? He did not handle the news gracefully. Now he is out here, tossing not-so-subtle jabs, acting shady in plain sight, and slowly unraveling for the entire world to witness. Is it envy, lingering regret, or the early signs of a midlife unraveling? Whatever the root of it may be, one thing is certain. Drake is not handling the news of Rihanna building a family with another man too well. It is painfully obvious that watching the woman he once adored create a home with A AP Rocky is hitting him hard. So let us dive into the details, the unspoken shade, the emotional tension, and why Drake just cannot seem to let Rihanna go. Rihanna has once again sent shockwaves through the world, and this marks her third jaw-dropping surprise. As fans eagerly awaited her grand entrance at the Met Gala, expecting her usual breathtaking fashion moment, she chose to rewrite the narrative. Rather than arriving in high-fashion couture, Rihanna dropped something even more attention-grabbing: the announcement that baby number 3 is officially on the way. Whispers had already started weeks earlier when she was spotted in Barbados, noticeably more reserved than usual, and possibly hiding a subtle baby bump. Naturally, the internet wasted no time turning into a full-blown investigation team. Every snapshot, every angle was studied like evidence in a high-profile case. Still, no one predicted that Rihanna would confirm the rumors so quickly, or with such confidence. Fans also began to notice how calculated her outfits had become during A AP Rocky's recent court appearances. From oversized coats to roomy jackets, she seemed to be making a conscious effort to keep things concealed. She even held her purse just so, covering her midsection in a way that now feels very deliberate. Looking back, it is clear, Rihanna was carefully protecting her secret while continuing to stand by Rocky's side. Honestly, it makes perfect sense that Rihanna decided to hold off on sharing the big news during that intense period. The trial was no light matter. The outcome held serious weight, and if there is one thing Rihanna has always mastered, it is timing. She understands the importance of reading the room. Dropping a pregnancy reveal in the middle of a courtroom drama involving the father of her children would not have just felt off, it would have overshadowed the gravity of the situation entirely and shifted the public's attention away from what was truly at stake. When the verdict finally came in, not guilty, A AP Rocky could not contain his emotions. He leapt into Rihanna's arms, feet nearly off the ground, embracing her with the kind of joy that only comes from immense relief. Surrounded by supporters, the two shared a powerful moment of celebration, love, and emotional release. Cheer. Down. The judge has to call on everyone to quiet down the right moment. And now, with the trial behind them and the world watching, she decided to share the news on her terms, just like she always does. But there definitely were clues, like how they promised to name their next child after Rocky's lawyer, who got him off those gun charges. The lawyer said, "Rihanna and Rocky said to me in the courtroom yesterday that grabbed me and they said, 'Listen, our next baby is ASAP Joe.'" Now, there's also the fact that Rihanna herself hinted at a baby number 3 a couple of days ago when she posted a throwback picture of Rocky holding a baby and wrote number 3 soon. So, as glamorous and headline-worthy as Rihanna's announcement was, it was not completely out of the blue. The hints were there, and many fans had already connected the dots. Still, when the confirmation came, the internet erupted. People were thrilled for her and Rocky, genuinely celebrating their growing family. Well, almost everyone. Everyone except her ex, Drake. Because if there is one thing we have learned about Drake over the years, it is that he has never truly gotten over Rihanna. So, seeing her thrive and expand her family with someone else, it hit him hard. That is why his recent behavior, erratic, shady, and emotionally messy, feels less like a surprise and more like a predictable meltdown in the making. There were even whispers about a possible wedding on the horizon, but Rihanna kept things playfully vague, never giving a clear yes or no. And really, who could blame her for keeping a few things to herself? After all, juggling a growing family, global attention, and non-stop career demands can be a lot. When asked how she felt about everything, she admitted it was overwhelming at first, saying she felt tired, but then quickly shifted gears, calling it a blessing and expressing genuine excitement. The moment felt raw and real. But of course, fans had to ask the million-dollar question. Does this mean the long-awaited R9 album is on pause again? Rihanna responded with a grin, teasing that maybe a couple of music videos were still in the works. "I can still sing," she said with confidence. Then came more questions, this time about her Savage X Fenty bridal collection. "It is not our first bridal line," she reminded everyone. "Go shop bridal.savage.com. She handled it all, with her signature charm, keeping fans guessing about what personal milestone might be coming next. But she was quick to add, "You know I do not keep secrets very long." Still, it is not hard to imagine that all this joy and success sent Drake even deeper into his emotional spiral. That announcement? It probably had him pacing, crying, maybe even throwing up. Because let us be honest, Drake has a long, strange pattern of taking shots at both Rocky and Rihanna without being provoked. The only real explanation? He is still fixated on Rihanna, and it stings that she has completely moved on and no longer even acknowledges him. Man, it really was not that long ago when Drake took direct shots at both Rocky and Rihanna in his track Family Matters. In the song, he name-dropped Rocky and came out swinging. "Rocky talkin', that's gas, 'cause you hit my BM first, ninja do the math, who was hittin' then? I ain't even know you rap still, 'cause they don't talk about your fit again. Probably gotta have a kid again before you think of droppin' ish again." He kept going, saying Rocky should stick to modeling since his music is mid, then tossed in a line about smokin' Fenty, and even implied he tried to get on the Anti album but was left off. The most cutting part? When he told Rocky to ask Ree if it's a good thing next time they cuddle, warning that even she would tell him to leave the boy alone before you get your head split again. Now that was messy, but it only gets wilder. When you zoom out and look at the history, rewind a bit, and you'll remember that Rocky once publicly claimed he hooked up with Sophie Brousseau, aka the mother of Drake's son, before Drake did. He did not keep it subtle either. He boasted about it, loudly. Naturally, Drake was never going to let that slide. He clapped back hard, reminding everyone that while Rocky might have gotten with Sophie, he was the one dating Rihanna back then. And let's face it, Rihanna has always been Drake's ultimate flex. In his mind, throwing that back in Rocky's face was his way of reclaiming dominance, of proving that when it comes to Rye, he still believes no one else measures up. Drake's fixation with Rihanna has truly stood the test of time, and honestly, it is starting to feel like a full-blown saga. His feelings for her have never exactly been a secret. From the jump, he made it clear in words, music, and moments that Rihanna was the one for him. While he dove deep emotionally, Rihanna preferred to keep things breezy, especially in the early stages of their friendship. She was about the vibes, not the labels. Even so, the two shared undeniable chemistry, professionally and personally, whether it was on sultry tracks like What's My Name or upbeat collaborations. Like work, there was always an electric connection. Fans could feel it. And Drake? He never played it cool. His admiration was front and center, in interviews, on stage, in his lyrics. He made sure everyone knew Rihanna was his muse. But the thing is, while fans ran with relationship rumors, Rihanna usually shut them down fast. Take that moment when they were spotted leaving a bowling alley together. Rihanna dismissed the chatter with a cool shrug. Meanwhile, Drake leaned all the way in, turning that very moment into inspiration for his song Fireworks. In that track, he rapped, "I'm such a gentleman, you should give it up for me. Look at how I'm placing all my napkins and my cutlery. I could tell it wasn't love, I just thought that you fucked with me? Who could have predicted Lucky Strike would have you stuck with me?" He painted the night as a meaningful chapter, confessing that it haunted him, and all the media drama that followed only fueled the flame. "What happened between us that night, it always seems to trouble me. All I see is fireworks. Beyond." The music. Drake would gush about her in every interview like a man smitten beyond repair. Even when Rihanna kept her distance, he clung to the hope of something more, broadcasting their connection to the world, even if she never quite echoed the same feelings back. The people she truly lets into her life, and Drake, despite all his public longing, just never made it into that inner circle for real. Sure, they had moments, they had hits, they had undeniable chemistry. But Rihanna has always moved with intentionality, and when she sensed drama or disloyalty, she distanced herself quick. The fact that she never once publicly claimed Drake, despite all the public appearances, performances, and media buzz, says a lot. Even during that short-lived 2009 era when they were casually involved, she never gave the press the satisfaction of a label. She kept it classy and kept it moving. And let's be real, she probably saw the red flags from early on. Drake's tendency to get overly attached, his flair for dramatics, and his habit of turning situations into lyrical warfare? Not exactly a green light for someone like Rihanna, who has always valued peace and privacy. When word got out that he had cheated, even though they were never official, it just cemented what she likely already felt. He was not someone she could fully trust. That rift eventually became permanent. Rihanna confirmed it herself when she said in an interview, "We don't have a friendship now, but we are not enemies either. It is what it is." That one sentence carried weight. No hate, no bitterness, just closure. Rihanna had moved on, and she made it clear that whatever Drake was still clinging to, it was in the past. And she was not about to bring that energy into her future. Rihanna has always been about loyalty, especially to the people she grew up with. She's kept her circle tight, with her day ones still by her side, a rarity in the often shifting, superficial world of the entertainment industry. So when things fizzled out with Drake, people definitely noticed. It wasn't just any breakup. This was someone who had been publicly obsessed with her for years, only for her to pull away completely. And if we're being honest, it wasn't exactly a subtle move. It's important to note that Rihanna even gave Chris Brown a second chance after their tumultuous history, which only reinforces how seriously she must have been done with Drake. For her to cut him off entirely, it had to be something serious. Whatever Drake did to make her walk away, it had to be next-level disrespect. You'd think that would have been enough of a wake-up call for Drake to move on, right? But nope. This man stayed locked in his delusion, pining for a fantasy that Rihanna clearly didn't share. He even went so far as to tell LeBron James how he had to mourn the idea of marrying Rihanna and having kids with her. Like it was some tragic love story instead of the reality that she simply wasn't interested in that life with him. Drake was publicly reflecting on his own upbringing, talking about how he wished his parents had done a better job co-parenting and sticking together. He spoke about wanting a fairy tale future, one that, in his mind, included Rihanna and the family they could have had. He seemed to idealize this life with her, as though it was something meant to be, but that couldn't have been further from the reality of what Rihanna wanted. She had no part in his vision of the future, and despite his lingering feelings, she made it clear she wasn't coming back. Instead of dealing with his emotions like an adult, Drake responded with passive-aggressive shade in his music. His track Fear of Heights was filled with bitterness, using the song to air out his frustrations with the situation, making it clear that he still hadn't gotten over the fact that Rihanna refused to let him back into her life. Drake's diss toward Rihanna in Fear of Heights was a blatant, nasty jab. The line that really had people talking was when he said, "Why they make it sound like I'm still hung up on you? That could never be. Girl can't run me. Better him than me. Better it's... Not me, I'm anti. He went further to say, "Yeah, the intimacy was average with you. Yeah, I'm anti because I had it with you." That was a clear shot at Rihanna, and even more so at A AP Rocky. It seemed like he was trying to belittle Rocky's relationship with Rihanna, saying, "Okay, I'm anti like your daddy, sister. Auntie like a family picture." He even mocked their relationship, suggesting that A AP couldn't leave Rihanna, that it was all an Auntie Eagle situation. This was Drake's way of throwing shade, making it clear he felt some kind of way about their happiness, even if it was completely unwarranted. If he had any hopes of staying on good terms with Rihanna, those lyrics pretty much sealed the deal that there was no way back. But that's not where the drama ended. Drake's actions off the mic have raised plenty of red flags, and it's no surprise Rihanna probably feels relieved to have dodged that bullet. For one, the moment when Millie Bobby Brown casually mentioned that she and Drake had been texting regularly raised eyebrows. She even shared that he gave her advice on boys and relationships. It seemed harmless on the surface, but when you think about it, it was a highly inappropriate situation for a grown man to be regularly texting a young girl like that, and the rumors only got worse from there. A crew member from Drake's tour revealed some unsettling details about the rapper's behavior behind closed doors. This insider claimed that Drake has a personal employee whose sole job is to find the most attractive girls in town, interview them, and bring them to Drake's home. After spending time with him, they'd be driven back to wherever they came from. This type of behavior paints a very different picture of Drake than the one he's tried to portray in the public eye, and it only makes Rihanna's decision to keep her distance from him seem even more justified. The rumors surrounding Drake's behavior have certainly escalated over time, and they continue to make headlines. Allegations about Drake hosting questionable Diddy-style parties in Toronto, with the disturbing claim that his main focus was allegedly high school girls, have only added fuel to the fire. The idea of such parties targeting younger girls is unsettling, and it paints a darker side of Drake's persona that many fans hadn't anticipated. Coming from Canada, it's understandable to want to support someone from your home country. But as one individual shared, the reality of growing up and seeing the girls in your school getting invited to Drake's mansion while feeling like just another anonymous guy is demoralizing. There's a sense of disillusionment when you see these things happening so openly, and for many, it feels like the younger generation shouldn't have to deal with such situations. On top of the troubling rumors, Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Meet the Grams, further fueled the fire. Kendrick didn't hold back, calling out Drake for his alleged inappropriate behavior, and even went as far as to name-drop his mom, Sandra, in the verse. The lyrics were shocking, with Kendrick accusing Drake of having sick thoughts and claiming he kept sex offenders on the payroll, while allegedly hypersexualizing Black women. The track called out Drake for not only his own actions, but also for putting his child at risk by allegedly associating with the wrong people. The verses suggested that predators like him are dangerous for young girls, and it urged society to be more aware of the lurking dangers. Meanwhile, as Rihanna's life seemed to flourish with A$AP Rocky raising their family in peace, Drake seemed to have been struggling with his personal life. His relationship history has been filled with unfulfilled commitments and unsuccessful relationships. One of the most cringeworthy moments came when Drake confessed he had thought about proposing to 42 different women, a comment that left many wondering what was really going on behind the scenes. To top it off, he made a necklace out of 42 diamonds, each one allegedly symbolizing one of those women he considered proposing to, a symbol of indecision that only added to his image of emotional instability. It seems that no matter how much success he's had in his career, when it comes to his personal life, Drake has yet to find the happiness he's searching for. It's easy to get caught up in the drama of celebrity culture, especially with someone like Drake, who's always in the spotlight. On one hand, his behavior might seem like classic celebrity drama, high-profile feuds, sub-tweets,